Hi, it's Tom here from Quantumplate. Today I'm going to be showing you what's new with the Outputs interface. So the first thing you'll notice that's changed is the Pipeline and Outputs tabs are no longer here in the top right, and instead we've moved the Outputs to a new tab down here. You'll already be familiar with the Inputs tab, where you can drag in new uploads, see a list of the reference datasets used in your pipeline, and see any partner data that's been called by this pipeline. Now, if we go to the Outputs tab, you can just hit O on your keyboard to get to that. You can see that the Outputs interface is now quite a detailed summary of all the outputs in your pipeline. So starting at the top left, we have the Run History button. It's telling us that at the moment we're looking at the outputs of run 7. That run was successful. It took 15 seconds and took place on the 30th of November, and the time zone. And the run log has moved up into this pop-up on the right. And that gives that familiar stage-by-stage summary of the events that took place during the pipeline run. Something else that's new on the run log is that we list the pipeline revision number. So if you go down to the history pop-up, that's the revision number here. So if we ever want to track back to the pipeline configuration that created a certain set of outputs, we can go back to, in this case, 256 and restore it there if we wished. So that's the pipeline revision number there that created these outputs. And we can also see that it was run by the user Robert Powers. This run log pop-up will open automatically when you run a pipeline. If we click on the Run History button, we can see the full history of pipeline runs, validation result, what time it was completed, how long it took, and who ran it. So if we wish to navigate to a previous set of run results, then we just click on there and you can see that the outputs were different in a previous run. Okay, let's go back to the current run. At the top we have a summary of the validation results, and clicking on one of these will take you through to the validation report. And click to go back. The validation results tell you the name and number of the stage and the name of the operation that created these results. So we can see that in policy calculation stage 3 we had a validation operation called policy validations. Let's see, there it is. So just giving you that high level summary of the validation results at a glance. Likewise, on the mapping reports, we can see in stage 3 there was an automap values used, and clicking through to that will show us the mapping report results for that automap values. And the final section is output datasets. So as the name suggests, these are the pipeline outputs, the actual data that's been generated by the pipeline. So as you probably know, only the pipeline outputs that have been enabled by toggling on will appear in these pipeline outputs. So we've toggled off all the intermediate outputs in this pipeline and only toggled on the outputs that we actually want to export, and that just simplifies this view. In the output dataset section, we also list the row count of each output dataset, and we list the destination in the data repo where the dataset will be exported to. If we click on an output, it takes us through to a preview of that output data. And just click on the top left to go back. Let's take a look at how to configure those destination datasets. So here, output underwriting. If I click in the destination column, which is currently blank, I can type to search the list of datasets in the data repo and select one. Clicking Update will then overwrite the underwriting dataset with the data from this pipeline. That's now updated. Let's do the same for General Ledger and Reinsurance. And let's create a new dataset here called Test Output. So this will now create a new dataset in the data repo. And that's been created and updated. If we run the pipeline again, you can see that the destination datasets have all been remembered, and we just need to update them by clicking Update. We don't have to go through and click them all one by one. If we do a Select All, you can see they've all been selected. If I want to toggle one or two off, we can do that. And now if I click Export, both those underwriting and general ledger datasets which are selected will be exported to the data repo, and those datasets will be updated. I can also use this batch function to download multiple datasets. So here I've selected all 4, and I'm going to click Download and download those 4 selected files, and they'll download as a zip file, which you can then unzip and access the separate files. If you just want to download one file individually, the button for that is here. And if you want to change the download format, this little download and cog icon is the way to do it. So here you can set it to be a CSV or what we call a speciality format, so different delimiters, comma, pipe, semicolon, tab. If you want improved compatibility with Excel and you have, say, accented characters in your dataset, then select UTF-8 and include the byte order mark. And that means that when Excel opens the file, it'll know how to interpret those accented characters. So they're the output datasets.